What's up guys, and welcome to Maso Plays. Today we have another re-upload of a video game I played on my previous channel, Mason the Brock Henderson. While I'm still working on moving my backlog of videos over to this one, I will continue to upload current Let's Plays on that channel. I also do reviews of TV shows and movies on that channel, and if you want to see me talk soccer, you can check out my other channel, Blues and Stripes. But to try to get caught up as quickly as possible, I'll be uploading 2 videos per day until we get caught up to the present series that I'm on. But with all that being said, let's get to the video. And they opened up my mind. Collect 6 signboards. Oh, so I guess that's the last signboard I'll get. That's cool. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Am I seriously getting another side quest at the... Oh my god. I thought I was gonna be done. Is this another one too? Litany of Errors? Oh my god. I'm never gonna finish these side quests, am I? They're just gonna be a never-ending... thing of side quests. Oh, start at Northreach. Buy all the orchestrion rolls that I think popped up here. Alright, Against the Wind.
An excellent choice. Come back again.
Here we are. I do wonder, could I not do this quest without completing Quentin's quest first? Or was this quest always going to be available? Just where you find Quentin would depend on whether or not you actually finished up his set of side quests. Hello, Quentin. We need your help.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose.
Clive gets down on one knee. That's not what I'm talking about, Clive.
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Does that mean back to the hideaway? I think. Make sure there's nothing else here. Alright. Back we go. Got a lot of stuff that we need to finish up here. Yeah, I know there's a new missive. This game's just like, hey, why don't we give you every single side quest known to man? But first and foremost, it's time. Goddardammerong.
It last you a good while.
Half past twilight. Craft the legendary sword Goddardammerong. Sweet. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Where is it? I don't see it anywhere. Seriously? Is it just because it was showing Ragnarok? Is that it? It's just it's Ragnarok but upgraded, but the appearance is still the same? That's kind of disappointing, but okay. Well, I'll keep Ragnarok on, I suppose.
It was no
Yeah.
trouble at all. Still.
Oh, Ember's here too.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Indeed.
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
So anyways, I went to Martha's Rest, I talked to some people, they told me where to find him, I found him, and they dropped a feather on accident.
There on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do.
Haha.
Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
Hey, look at
So
him.
all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go.
So that's why, though, this one waited until after we
do
did
you think?
Ember's first little thing.
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
Looks like we're not finished yet. Oh, Byron, were you here when I first landed? Because I didn't see you.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
What?
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Well, sweet.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Oh, goodness. some of these quests I'm just like, all right, well, this should be the last thing. And then suddenly it's like, now come over here. I want to finish these quests. I want to finish the game. Rossfield Manor. It's been a while since we've been here.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion.
If you can call it that.
Interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
They finally work everything out. Not so subtle cough.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Glad they finally worked everything out.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
that it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will.
Cool.
Thank you, Uncle.
Oh, that's it. Quest complete. Now it's quest complete. So seeing all this does really make me wonder, and I think I know I've had this thought before, but I don't actually know if I've said this out loud. But I wonder if the side quests are going to affect how the story plays out in the end. I almost kind of wonder if it's a situation where you can get multiple endings depending on how many side quests you did. Because it feels like a lot of these side quests are going to lead to, once Ultima's been defeated and, you know, the Mother Crystals all been destroyed, and feels like maybe the land is going to heal a bit from the destruction of all of this. I kind of wonder if after the fact, if, you know, looking at, say, what's going on with Byron and Havel and Quentin here, if you didn't complete this side quest, would the world afterwards still be basically in chaos because there'd be no sort of order to it all? And now that I've done this, does that mean I'll get an ending where, yeah, everything worked out a bit better when it comes to the political realm and, you know, people banding together and all of that? Something that's kind of interesting to think about, because it does feel like they've really given a lot of these side quests some thought about how it's going to affect the world going forward. Alright, Vivian?
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
I had some guy try to take it from me. But I killed him. Or actually, I killed his friends.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
Accurate.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Some nice words there. And quest complete. Oh, we're getting so close to finishing them. Scholar's Bonnet. I see. And we're gonna fill out the wall of memories in no time. Oh, Nectar, why? Why do you have to have another one? Oh, goodness. Just another one, though. The Wailing Banshee. Cursebreakers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garnick. Misled by the abomination's appearance into thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help, but soon it was they who were seeking salvation. Survivors say they can still hear the screams, both those of the white and of those of their fallen comrades. So Garnick and Waloed. I'll remember that. Desiree, seems like we got another thing here.
The Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
2 Sail Forbidden Seas for Keshian Roll and Fallen Enigma.
You earned this.
Careful Whisper? Is that it? Ahaha. Sweet. Knocking out a lot of trophies here too.
Again. I may have more for you.
Alright, so what is this that I just got? Alright, I need to remember to listen to this one. Fallen Enigma. So it's no, it's valuable. Can be traded for gil. Must be a decent amount of gil. before I continue on, I just want to go ahead and listen to this new one, just because I'm going to forget the name of it if I don't. We've added so many. So everything from Color and Crackle down, I believe, is going to be new stuff. There's a lot more here. Does that mean I've missed one, or is that just going to be added whenever I play the DLC, I wonder? Alright, to Sail Forbidden Seas. I believe we've played this music whenever we faced off against other dominants or icons, if I remember right. It's a good one. It's a good one. I forgot to click listen. Still want Twilight. Even though apparently, I think there's a few of these that are definitely copyrighted on YouTube. Twilight is the one that tends to get me the most. And what's funny is it's only whenever I'm listening to people speak. So if I'm just sitting here not talking and listening to the conversations happening between characters while Twilight is playing in the background, that's typically whenever the copyright ends up getting me. Which I tried to cut out those sections in past videos whenever I saw copyright stuff pop up. But at this point, I mean, I'm not monetizing these videos anyway. So I just don't see much of a point. As long as it's not blocking my video or trying to take it down, I don't see any point of trying to work around it. Also, Taria, have we spoken to you?
How can I help you, Clive?
Apparently not. Ask about Origin.
And no sooner have your wounds mended
then you find an excuse to go charging once more into the breach. But only because my wounds are mended. Thanks to the expert ministrations of the best healer this side of the belt. Save your honeyed tongue for Jill. Oh, trust me, I will. You're talking about killing a god, Clive.
While I may not have Gav's nose,
I know danger when I smell it. This plan reeks to high heaven. This will be the last time, I promise.
that's what I'm worried about.
You fool. Don't you think I'd rather stitch 1,000 of your cuts than never stitch one again?
I do.
Thank you. Ask about Taria.
What I'd truly like
is to share my knowledge of healing and herb lore with the realm. Every cure seems like a miracle to the child who knows nothing of medicine.
But teach her medicine.
And suddenly a world without miracles doesn't seem so frightening.
Don't push yourself too hard, Clive.
I'll try. Hello, Edda. We've got something for you.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. Aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, me lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
Feeling good, Gav?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over What with me being the runt of the litter, thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Because you're like Gav.
You finished?
You're you, mate.
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Yeah, so park up, bud. Feeling so down in the dumps about yourself.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword.
Cheers. A nice little moment for Gav there. I like it.
I may have had one too many.
You think? You threw up on my shoes.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway, after I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
Quest complete. Well, that was nice. A little bit of brotherhood between gentlemen. Wintermead. Alright. Also, I realized, because I see now the exclamation point up there, that's actually going to be for Herman, so it's not a new quest, thankfully. I wonder why that's the only one that stayed an exclamation point, though, compared to the others, which are now treasure chest looking symbols. But alright, Herman, I got the registry for you.
That you traveled to Ash, Sid. Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
Take it!
If I may. The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body, nor any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
He's got a little bit of survivor's remorse.
And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory.
That's right.
See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid, I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush.
Nice.
All of Valisthea will know of our suffering, and in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
Hell yeah.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
That's a nice moment. And again, it's nice to see, because sometimes people, they go through that type of awful thing and they just sort of shut down, or again, you get that survivor's remorse and feel like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have survived either type of thing. But it's good to see him take the awful thing that happened and decide to use that to better himself, basically. All right, while I'm thinking about it, I do have quite a few ability points. So I'll go ahead and start getting some of these abilities. First of all, we'll go ahead and get Will of the Wikes and Ignition mastered. I can put them on any of them. The next two to get are going to be Dancing Steel for Odin, which I know all of his abilities just raise the Zantetsuken gauge. That's cool looking. So what is the upgraded version? Significantly increase the number of hits. Okay. Get that. And then we'll get Shiva's Diamond Dust ability, which looks epic. The upgrade increases number of ice blasts to 2 and increase hits for each blast. That's cool. Ha, it's cool. I didn't even mean to do that. And then we've got mid, and then we've got to read a letter that will give us another quest. Okay. It just hit me what the symbol is now. It's for the Wall of Memories. That's why all of these have that treasure chest symbol. God, I can't believe how long it took me to realize that. I feel kind of stupid.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
The shell and the tallow.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait.
Yeah.
The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would they... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
So the cogwheel does come back. Such a weird little thing to focus on that never even got used again. Alright kids, where's that cogwheel?
Sid, is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales?
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember.
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Well,
look.
If you reassemble something and there are leftover bits, that means you didn't reassemble it correctly.
Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Alright, please tell me this is it.
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
I mean, I know.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place. Well, you just wait and see.
Are we actually going to see her airship get up and going? Because that would be really cool. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
Here goes nothing.
Oh.
Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Why not both?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm going to bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Huh. It is one of those things that is interesting to think about,
Of course,
though.
if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Quest complete. But what it reminds me of, though, is probably one of the most frustrating things about Marvel's Eternals for me, is, I think his name was Fastus, how he was the one of the Eternals that was giving all the humans like these technological advancements and stuff, but of course he started to see them used to kill each other, and of course the atomic bomb was kind of the ultimate moment. Of course we don't see how he turned it around after that and believed in humans again, but whatever. But it is kind of an interesting topic of discussion, though, where all of these advancements and how they can be used for bad. And obviously, you know, when we talk about how they can be used for good, of course, that's when the ideas really start flowing and people start getting excited about what we can see. I think AI is probably the biggest hot button topic at the moment. Of course, there are ways that it can be used that people are already discovering that make our lives easier. Basically simplify some of our life that can be difficult at times. However, there's also a lot of bad things that can be done with it too. I mean, how many stories have we seen where AI essentially takes over our lives, or, you know, is used to a point where we don't really do anything for ourselves anymore? How many jobs has it already taken over in certain industries? So it's very interesting to see this discussed here, and Mid deciding that her inventions, you know, even though it's something she's very passionate about, even though it's something that she clearly wants to do, deciding that she doesn't want it to be used to kill other people. It's an interesting, I guess, stance that they've taken on this. I kind of like that little story. And Mid herself is a character that I think she's not Mid, but she really has been well done for this story. You know, and her inclusion,
mentioned a new project.
I think is very clever in how they've used her. So we've got maybe one more side quest. I don't know. We're gonna check the missive table and see. Maybe this will be the last one, and then we can finally get on with the main story. Oh wait, we've also got a hunt. Oscar, you're still here, huh? You're just never gonna go help with these people, are you? Despite the fact that you keep saying you will. I won't check the wall yet, since I'm apparently gonna get something else from this missive. 2 more! Come on! Okay, first a new day. From Lubor. I am not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart, just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and a bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or to waste it. A wise man once said, "The night is always darkest before dawn." It is a good thing, then, I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Lubor. Very nice. Concern for Jill, from Joshua. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart. We'd be poor friends indeed if we did not seek to lighten that burden, even but only a fraction, before we depart for the skies. I would speak on this more in private, Joshua.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Indeed. Quest accepted. priceless. But first, more reading to do. Wages of Fate from Joshua. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominance sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield. Now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted? What Cid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own paths? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Joshua. Okay, fine. Cyril, note of thanks. My Lord Marquis, I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of the Martyrs. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing. Though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix, I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. That they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rossfield such as yourself shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart. Cyril, bearer of the burning quill. Okay. And then finally, making amends from Harpocrates. Master Clive, I am aware there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention. But should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness Prince Dion, Harpocrates. Okay.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Well, since we have one for Jill and one for Dion, I wonder if that means we're going to be working to get both of their icons back for them? Which again may lead to a change in the story, if maybe they're both able to help out now with Shiva and Bahamut. But first, Joshua.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business.
Ah.
What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
To the daisies, then.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
Well, I mean, I fought for a while without you, so I can do a lot, jerk. Alright, old man, what do you want me to do?
Lawsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
Indeed.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor.
Oh.
This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government.
Interesting.
Alas, Our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons. His studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know.
True.
But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled.
Yes.
Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's Roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
I'm gonna find one.
Clive.
I'm gonna get
Please,
it.
Be safe.
Okay. Oh. Got one there and one over here. I feel like I'm so close to being finally done with all these side quests. Ooh, we'll start with Hawk's Cry Cliff. Nope. Actually, not too far. Excellent. Okay. Oh.
This is the place, but...
All of them were burned?
I'm sorry, Clive. There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
Hey, so why don't we, travel to this place and look at this thing? Okay, now that we're done with that, how about we go back to the hideaway and talk to somebody else? And then we're going to go somewhere else and look for something there. Oh, God.
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
I know some of this is just because I'm so ready to get onto the story quest and finish it, but it does feel like a lot of these final quests have been very... Go here and talk to this person. Go here and talk to this person. They've not been the most interesting quests, some of them. Then a couple that have been okay. Alright, Frederica.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Cid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. if the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
The Royal Meadows. Alright, well, let's go.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then ULTIMA-te was right. I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilafeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
Leaving it. Oh my goodness, there's another missive? Who's sending me letters now? Well, at least it's not another quest, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Why did these not all send before I left? Alright, from Gav. Ada seems fond of the silver bowl we gave her. So much so she's been taken to setting at the top of belly she rests. To hear her tell it, the rascal kicks something fierce when she does too. Sounds like we got another fighter in our hands, none too soon. I can hardly wait to teach our newest little curse breaker everything I know. Well, I suppose we can all celebrate first. I'll need to get ahead of ourselves now. Gav. Okay, treasure hunt. What? You didn't think I was just saying that stuff about how my engine, did you? When you know I've already a fine spot picked out and everything. But if you're going to go on this grand adventure, you'll need to be quick about your business with that ruddy god of yours. Take too long and someone more clever might beat you to my prize. I suppose in that case I could bury one of my lacer inventions. Goddess knows I've countless. Vivian. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with from a distance. The tome made me who I am today, and yet I thought I should never set eyes upon it again, that those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again, thanks to you. I regret I can only fill the gaps in your knowledge, not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in your debt. Vivian. Finally, try unity. From Byron. Bringing together three men from differing backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did for a better Valisthea. The triunity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved that road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle. Very sweet. To Sambrak in Northreach. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's the best way to go.
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
ULTIMA mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Oh, first I gotta get up there. Yeah. Apparently I had to get off anyway.
Flowers and our friends.
There we go. Uh-oh. What now?
What do you see, boy?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
All that damage. Oh, crap. Let's press the wrong one. Where is he? Get down here. I can finish you off. Thank you. And that was no problem. Minotaur Mane.
That was harder than I expected.
I mean, not really. I was waiting to come back and like the Minotaur trampled all of the daisies somehow.
But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
So what now?
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Oh, Josh, you kidder. Alright, where's Jill? She's still on the balcony, next to my room. Jill, I've got a present for you.
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
The bedroom. Sorry.
Not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
Without her even saying yes, he just walks.
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We're not worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling.
Adorable. Oh, look at that.
Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know.
I think I know.
Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have.
Yeah.
And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Hell yeah. You get you some, Clive.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
I'll put it up on my wall of memories.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
How sweet.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
I think they both know where you are right now.
Together.
Or at least they have their suspicions. You guys notice that both Clive and Jill are missing right now? Yeah, we do. That level up? It is. Level 49. So, Snow Daisy Garland, Shiva's Kiss. Reduces Diamond Dust cooldown time by 7.5 seconds. Song of Winter, Autumn Gone from Frosted Lips Oblivion. I'm guessing to make it rhyme, I should say Oblivion. It's a northern nursery rhyme. Hey! Joining hands with Jill. Jill has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. A new questline, Echoes of the Fallen, is now available by speaking with Karen. Okay. So there's the DLC, for Echoes of the Fallen at least. That's kind of cool though. Yeah, I know that's there. God, I want to finish this and get on to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Leave me alone, DLC. But does that mean that Dion will join us after we finish this? Because that would be pretty cool. Yeah, it is just weird, only because... So for the other ones, like Earth and Fury, this one reduces it by 9.5. So you would think getting Shiva's Kiss specifically from a side quest, I mean, you would think that it would reduce it by a lot more than 7.5. Unless, is Diamond Dust one of the shorter cooldowns? 75 seconds. Earth and Fury, 95. 60 seconds, 45 seconds for Odin's, 120 seconds for Flames of Rebirth. So does that mean... Sorry, I'm doing some math real quick. Don't mind me. Yeah, so no, it's no... Like the reduction of cooldown time is the same percentage as all of the other ones. They're all 10% reduction of the cooldown time. For me, it's just a little weird because when I see Shiva's Kiss and I see that it's specifically from Jill, I would think that it would mean that the reduction of cooldown time would be a little bit more than the other ones that are just the simple, like, breath of whatever. No, I don't know, just kind of disappointed with that. Just a little bit. Also, can I say that I'm a little surprised that nothing happened with this bridge? I mean, I know, obviously, if they broke down the bridge that we wouldn't be able to get back, but this seemed like a perfect bridge to have some epic fight on. And then it falls, and somebody falls into the ravine. Such a cliche, I know, but you know, why not?
Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Okay. Take out this lindworm first. Alright, he's done. Gotta wait for the tornado here to die down so I can actually see what I'm doing. Any day now. Okay. Wild wyvern tail.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Alright, we'll try this little report to Harpocrates. Save myself some time. That is very nice. Because normally anytime I fast travel here to complete a quest, I end up of course right here. I have to walk all the way up here, walk into the library, and then come talk to him. So it's nice to just press that button and then I'm right here.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Take it. He's gonna be like, this isn't right, and I'm gonna have to go find another right. Like that's gonna be what happens.
You did indeed.
Never mind.
My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Alright. Speak with Dion. Dion! Got something for you.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It is time, then.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him.
Would both of you get over yourselves?
Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more.
Yeah, you did some bad stuff. So have I.
Was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude.
Okay, good.
Very well, then. Take me to him.
So if you said no, I was going to have to whip out my sword and then threaten you to come with me, and I didn't want to have to do that. Ted and Crow just start talking to each other. Hey, isn't that the guy that killed a bunch of innocent people? Oh, man.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, everything you think he thinks of you, he actually thinks worse. Surprisingly, I didn't think it could get worse.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that A wyvern tail. The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
Oh yeah. That means he means to come back. A step in the right direction.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Again, this is also something that I feel really will affect the main story, possibly.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost.
Is this my mother's head in a box?
I shall not forget this.
If so, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna hang it on my wall, so we can all point and laugh at her. I'm sorry, that was really dark. I don't know why my mind went there.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
Good.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
Get something from him too?
What's this?
I'm gonna have two things to hang up on the wall?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Hell yeah.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Quest complete. Stolas Quill, Bahamut's Mercy. Reduces Gigaflare cooldown time by 6 seconds. 6 seconds. A gift from the very first Emperor of Sanbreque to his infant son. This ring has graced the hand of every dominant of Bahamut since. The ether it absorbed from the icon over the years, aiding the next Imperial Scion in drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. But now the Empire lies in ruin, and that bloodline is broken, so let it be with Bahamut, as was always intended. Okay. So yeah, I guess that, to me, that means that getting the cooldown time for Bahamut and Shiva's ultimate attacks would only be possible by doing these side quests. Alright, but I think with that, let's check the wall of memories. I think we're only missing one. I don't know what that means, or what that would be. Alright, let's look at all of them. First, Briar's Kiss signboard. The emblem of the Briar's Kiss, the finest forge in Dalamil, run by its puckish and precocious young forge master Lubor. He inherited both his forge and the role of desert hare from his predecessor, the original Razuna Dalamil. Though the mayoralty of Dalamil, he won entirely by his own merits. Clay Hearth signboard, the emblem of the Undying's headquarters in Tabor. The Undying are a secret society sworn to serve House Rossfield, or particularly the dominance of the Phoenix that are born into the Rossfield line. Such is their acolytes' faith in the Phoenix that they will gladly surrender their lives if it should be for the benefit of their master. Rusted Battle Helm, Archduke Elwin's helm worn in his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising, later laid to rest upon his memorial stone. Now it sleeps in Clive's chambers, a constant reminder of the bravery and selflessness of the man in whose footsteps he and his brother mean to follow. Snow Daisy Garland, a fragrant diadem hand-woven by Jill from flowers picked on the shores of... I can't remember how to pronounce that. I think it was Isle of Fist Bay? Isle of Feist? The garland rekindles memories of a more innocent time and speaks of a love that can never fade. Model airship, Mid's dangerous dream of flight immortalized in miniature. Though the experiment ended in failure, Mid has allowed Clive to keep hold of the model so that once her renown has grown, he might sell the piece for an exorbitant amount of gil. Triunity of Cord, signed in Port Isolde by representatives from Rosaria, Dalmacia, and Sembrech. This mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. Stolas Quill, Lordsman Harpocrates' best-loved writing implement, whose ink has penned many a learned tome. It is said that the long quills of the Stolas become imbued with the wishes it hears over its long lifetime, the words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So should the day come that Clive puts down his sword and picks up the pen, he shall not find his one and only insurmountable enemy in writer's block. Scholar's Bonnet, Vivian Ninetails' academic cap, awarded to her upon her graduation from the University of Canver. Now Vivian shares her learning with Clive, the gift of the bonnet serving as a pledge that so long as they remain together, her knowledge shall be as much his as it is her own. Finally, Winter Mead, a gift from Gab. This potent potable is made from honey collected in the Northern Territory's short summers, fermented slowly over the next 6 moons. Despite an obvious inability to hold his drink, Gav has insisted that he be allowed to share the bottle when the time comes to crack the seal. Finally, we have a missive here, which I think I'll probably get one more since I just completed Dion's. I think I have to leave the hideaway and come back. But first from Jill, the greatest gift. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime ago. That afternoon on Man's Heel was our very first adventure. Somehow I knew even then that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day. The simple fact that you will have not either fills my heart with a joy so fierce that I cannot describe it. Since the moment we first met, you have always been an important part of me. The half that makes me whole. When times are darkest, you are my light. When I am lost, you are my guiding star. You are just what I need. You are all that I need. You are the greatest gift. Jill. Again, very sweet. Oh, Harpocrates is ready to level up. Well, first, let's go take down this hunt. If I remember right, it's in Garnick. So right here. So, travel to Vidar Graze. Right, here we are at Garnick.
No need to ride from here.
Where is this? Oh. Oh! Giza Malach. Interesting.
Harmon's madness lives on.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What are we doing? Just dodging. Oh boy. It's fine. Oh no. Okay. I guess before I start blocking, I probably need to learn the attacks. Oh, God. Oh, we're fine, we're fine. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I needed that.
Fine. Get out, ow. God, why can I not predict that move at all? Okay, there we go. Good, we're good, we're good. Not this again. Just keep hitting it with charged attacks. Ow. Oh, sweet. Go ahead and knock down its stagger gauge a little bit. I don't know what this is and I'm scared. I don't know what this is and I'm scared. Okay. It's gonna be a third one. That it? That seemed to be it. Okay. I'm not gonna have enough yet, but it's gonna be close. Can I finish it? Yes! Hunter hunted. Clear the hunt board. Oh boy. Clouded Eye and some other normal stuff.
Rest in peace.
Ooh, was not expecting to fight another one of those. But with that, we have finished all the side quests, finished all the hunts. Back to the hideaway we go, where we will read the last missive and then go talk to Harpocrates. So I know I've been talking about how I'm not going to do the DLC yet. I'll be honest, I've been recording for so long, I kind of feel like I need to end it soon. Part of the thinking is that I need to edit, because actually tomorrow is the day that I need to get this the first of these videos up from this session. And if I don't stop soon, I'm not going to have any time to edit. So I feel like I need to stop it soon. And if I start that final story quest, there's a good chance I'm still going to be recording for maybe a few more hours at this point. So I might just check and see about Echoes of the Fall. Maybe it's not going to be too long of a quest. Although I do just realize I said Echoes of the Fall. I meant Echoes of the Fallen. I combined it with Legends of the Fall for some reason, but I feel like a side quest from the DLC would not just be oh, this is just going to be like, what, 30 minutes? I feel like it is going to be quite a while for even that to finish up. I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, before we depart from Dion, Ifrit, you have my sincerest gratitude for reuniting me with Master Harpocrates, that I might embark upon this most important of journeys, my heart free of regret. Though in these past few moons, I've come to realize that the longer I spend in the company of you and your brother, the deeper I find myself in your debt. You must swiftly see to the menace that is Ultima. Not to save the world, to save me from an eternity of recompense. Dion. And safe returns from Hippocrates. Thank you, Clive, for ever indulging the whims of this doddering old soul. I am ashamed that for far too many years I allowed stubbornness and fear to keep me from something so simple as letting a friend know how proud I was of him. Your intervention has lifted a heavy pall from my heart. Perhaps upon your triumphant return from the skies, you might be inclined to set to page that quill I gifted you. There are many of us who would hear a first-hand account of your time with the Holy Prince, myself included. I'll think about it. But first, I need to come talk to you because apparently you can level up. And since we're getting so close to the end, now I feel like we probably will not actually fully level him up until we're done with the main story. Because I think he's probably going to have some stuff to say about our final bout with Ultima.
Good morrow to you, my friend.
Oh, ask about Dion.
I well recall
the time I spent at the Imperial Palace instructing the young prince on the history of our realm. He was quite unlike the other noble-born children I had taught, not only for the keenness with which he listened, but for the earnestness of his conviction.
He truly believed
that it was the Empire's duty to serve the people, and was determined to study the past that he might not repeat its mistakes, which is the reason why what befell Twinside weighs so heavily on his soul. He must live with the consequences, and I fear it will take more than a merely time to heal such wounds.
It will take forgiveness.
Not from you or me, nor his countrymen, nor even from his late father, no.
From himself.
Only then might his flower bloom again. Thank you for that.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Tell you about this, and then you learn some stuff, and then level up. Oh, it is a max.
This, I believe
she's academic ascendancy. God, that's so much to read. Let's get started. From Reverie. An impossibly tall tower in central Ash that seems to pierce the very heavens was built by Ultima when he first arrived in Valisthea. From its heights, he examined the flow of ether through the land and thereby determined the optimum placement for the mother crystals. Sins of Zemeckis, an incident in which the Fallen launched an assault on the mother crystal Zemeckis to claim its power, and in doing so stoked the ire of Ultima himself. In response, the self-proclaimed god destroyed the crystal, leaving behind both a great yawning crater and a cautionary legend that has since spread through Valisthea. Interesting. So the Fallen launched an assault on the Mother Crystal. I assume the Fallen might be other beings similar to Ultima, but maybe they were also human? Dominant, those within whom sleeps the power of an icon. The Dominants are but a stepping stone in the creation of Ultima's perfect vessel, Mythos. When Ultima sowed the seeds of humanity, he imbued those assigned to protect each Mother Crystal with an elemental affinity, a power that would amplify over the generations until the icons eventually emerged. Though the memory of their power remains even after it is absorbed into Mythos, it takes an increasing toll upon their persons to summon it. Right. And like we've seen, everybody's still able to summon their icon, it's more difficult for them to control it. So the Fallen, an ancient civilization that thrived some thousands of years before the present day. Though no direct records of the Fallen remain, early legends in the modern corpus speak of them as the Mene of Magitech, pinnacle of whose magical technology was the airship, enormous cities that soared through the skies. Comparison of the ruins of these airships and other ancient structures connected to Ultima reveals slight but marked differences, suggesting the former is but a close copy of the latter. Alas, it seems their pursuit of Ultima's most closely guarded secrets led to their downfall, when they sent their fleet against Zemeckis and ushered in the tragedy that saw their civilization fall. Okay? The Ultima civilization. The ancient civilization of the godlike Ultima Collective. Their discovery of magic helped them to thrive, but came at a terrible cost, the onset of the Blight. After their cities fell and their people perished, the few survivors fled to the untouched land of Valisthea to lay the groundwork for their future revival. The Apothecary beneath Phoenix Gate and the Tower of Reverie in Waloed are both relics of their civilization and far predate those of the Fallen. The Arete Stone, a mysterious ceramic tablet that stands in the hideaway. Though it closely resembles a relic of the Fallen, the way in which it reacts to Clive's presence and urges him to unlock his hidden potential suggests some connection to Ultima. It is likely that this stone, as well as other towers of similar construct that dot the landscape, were created by the creature before he entered his slumber, in order to aid in the perfection of his vessel Mythos. An obelisk, Ancient technology of the Ultima Collective set in place upon their advent to Valisthea in order to guide the flow of ether toward the Mother Crystals, that the land's life force might be harvested all the more readily. The obelisks are separate entities to the Mother Crystals themselves, so the latter's destruction does not affect the former's function. After Ultima cast Primogenesis, the resulting imbalance in the ether made these obelisks glow all the brighter. Children of Zemeckis, the tribe who once dwelled in the land surrounding the lost Mother Crystal of Zemeckis, this Mother Crystal communicated directly with Origin, from whence Ultima kept watch on the world from his slumber, and so those people who lived around it had a closer relationship with their creator than most. It was they who founded the Circle of Malleus to keep the word of their lord and future savior alive. After the tragedy of Zemeckis and the first fall of humanity, the few survivors of the children of Zemeckis fled to the outer continent, where they continued to worship their god and await the day where they would join him in paradise. Are we ever going to see the outer continent? Just keep talking about it. Alright, the Savior myth. Among the teachings of the Circle of Malleus is a story that the Lord Almighty delivered unto his children a prophecy of their future salvation before hiding himself away in the heavens, a myth that lived on in many of the folk religions that would later supplant it. Though long considered to be naught but a legend, it is possible that this reflects a real historical event, Ultima's final words to his humanity before he entered hibernation deep beneath Valisthea. The few remaining sources disagree on Ultima's precise wording, but on 4 points they all align, that on some future day of reckoning the incarnation of the Lord would appear among mankind and remake the world, that the advent of this incarnation would be heralded by the emergence of several heavenly servants of great might, that the Lord's faithful should rally these servants together in order to bring the incarnation into being, and that for their loyalty they would be rewarded with the greatest gladness. Which, of course, is just to serve, and nothing else. Alright, Ultima's thralls, soulless automata, largely composed of ether, whose only motivation is to see that the Creator's will is done. Ultima gave them life upon first arriving in Valisthea, and immediately tasked them with defending the realm's shores from any outside forces that might seek to interfere in his endeavors. The deity now employs them solely to test the strength and durability of self-proclaimed vessel Mythos. And finally, the Journal of Moss. The Annals of Moss the Chronicler, a scholar of Valisthean history who's unearthed many of the buried secrets of Ultima and the Circle of Malleus. Shortly after he encountered a young Harpocrates in the outer continent and inspired the boy's own pursuit of learning, Moss returned to the Twins, where his long years of wandering from ruin to relic in pursuit of the vestiges of Valisthea's past finally drew to a close.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Well, looks like these are all complete. I wonder if we'll maybe see a few things. Yeah, the 1,000 tomes is complete. Maybe we'll see some things after the game is finished get updated. It just feels weird that I didn't get a trophy for finishing it. So I feel like there's probably a bit more to see. But as always, I'll read through all of these and come back to you guys if I find something interesting. So just real quick, she's the adoptive daughter of Cid? Did I miss that somewhere? Or are we just now figuring this out right now? I might have missed it, because I've been known to miss things before. But that's interesting. Something that's kind of interesting here is these great beasts apparently don't have much tolerance for ethereal exposure, though it is common for them to turn Akashic on the merest contact with an ether flood. It's kind of interesting that, you know, considering they are the biggest, most powerful beast in the realm, and yet they are the first ones that lose their will at the slightest touch of ether. It's just, I don't know, something kind of almost ironic about that, I think. Okay, so this is something kind of deeper that I kind of wondered about, and I'm glad they're explaining it. So it was not until 100 years later, this is after the Continental Accord was signed and subjugated the bearers to slavery. It was not until 100 years later that the first icons were to emerge, their human hosts being named Dominants after the savior myth of the Circle of Malleus, which held that the Lord's return would be heralded by the appearance of, quote, his heavenly servants most wondrous and most dominant. Such was the awesome power of these creatures that the authorities had no option but to exempt them from the system of slavery, announcing them to be something other than a lowly bearer and deserving of the highest honor, lest they should side with their fellow oppressed and bring a second deluge upon the masters' heads. So basically, it was we need to make sure that they are not considered slaves or else they're going to rise up, and they are definitely more powerful. It's something that I kind of wondered about, considering bearers do have the ability to use magic without crystals. You would think that they'd be more powerful than normal humans, but since they were in the minority, I don't think they had enough willpower to really rise up and fight against it. But dominance would have had that ability. So they basically had to just say, whatever you guys want, you can have it. Because we can't fight back against this. Okay, so here's some explanation about Logos. So where Ultima uses mythos to describe the vessel he has long awaited, one into which he can pour his soul and cast his supreme spell, Logos indicates its blasphemed form, a vessel over which the will of another is a complete claim, making it of itself a false god. I guess since Joshua, because he's holding the feather there from the phoenix, so I guess Joshua technically has his will over Clive at the moment. I don't know if we'll get any more explanation on that. Although here it talks about the sin. So in Ultima's eyes, mankind's greatest sin is the awakening of free will, his servants straying from the path their creator laid out for them and forging one of their own. However, Clive contends that this is a sin by which Ultima is equally disdained, and indeed, if humanity is indeed Ultima's creation, does not their every action, every emotion stem from him? A good argument back. Okay. I wondered what this one, because they had all the dominants here, but there was one blank, and I wasn't sure what that was. So it's actually Ifrit Risen. So it does ask the question here, could this be the final true form of the vessel that Ultima requires to remake the world? I wonder if we're going to get any answers about that as we get to the end of the game here.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Alright, so that is it for all of the tomes. Just want to make sure there's nothing else. Okay. So go ahead and save. Just because if this starts me off on some long thing, I might go ahead and pause it and come back to it. What do you got, Karen?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there.
I know.
Let's stock up while you...
Is something the matter, Karen? You seem perturbed.
Do I know? How clever of you to notice.
He's learning.
But yes, something's come to my attention, and I'll be damned if I know what to make of it.
Go on.
Go on.
It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of crystal. Though, I don't remember seeing one that colour before.
Aye, well, that makes two of us. In all my long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour.
I see. And they could be used to cast magics.
That they can. Just like their brighter, shinier cousins. Difference is, they don't last as long. After a couple of goes lighting your pie, they crumble away to nothing.
Interesting.
That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market with dodgy goods. And after asking the right people the right questions, and paying the right price, of course, I managed to get my hands on a sample.
I see why you're perturbed.
I hope. Do you feel that, Clive?
What is happening? What's going on? Meanwhile, the Imperial Fringes.
All right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses and then our bellies. What did you two do now?
What?
Please tell us you bought another lantern.
Stay calm, both of you. Who needs a lantern when you've got one of these? All that work for a single spark. Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise today.
Uh-oh.
That sounded close, Chief. Really close. Really, really close.
Now, lads, what am I always telling you? Good things come to those who run.
Wait for us, Chief!
What? What in the hell is that? Echoes of the Fallen. Oh, good lord. That doesn't look fun.
I've never felt a tremor this far inland before.
Me neither. But then, I'd never seen skies like these till a few moons ago, and it's been all change ever since. Come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard of these dust crystals was after you lot came back from the Dominion and brought this bloody weather with you.
Do you think the two things are connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tail gone, the black market was running short of the good stuff. The Dominion's mines were the only source of new shards left in Storm after a certain evil outlaw decided to do away with the other mothers. And with the price of decent crystals going through the roof, traders turned to dealing in stuff they'd never have touched before.
The question is, who's selling these crystals and where are they? Wait. This color. They couldn't be from Origin, could they? No, that wouldn't make sense. I saw it form in the sky, and that was long after we returned from the Dominion. But if they didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals, then... does that mean...
That you missed one? Aye. That were my thinking, any road. Another mother crystal we didn't know about.
Interesting.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about this, we need to find it.
Not where I was expecting this to go.
On account of which, I'll take this shard over to Tomes for you. Get him to give it a once-over, case it rings any bells.
Right. Thank you.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's help with this too.
Right again. I will. Let me go and find Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shelves.
Oh, a little bit of new music there. A Crystal Darkly. Brave the Dusk. Quest destinations for Echoes of the Fallen are indicated with a purple marker. After accepting the quest, current objectives are displayed in the to-do list on the right-hand side of the screen. This will temporarily replace main scenario objectives. If you wish to restore main scenario objectives to the to-do list, you can do so on the Journal tab in the main menu. So basically just do that and then I can go back to it. Alright, well, I think this is probably actually a good place to call it. So seeing how many other quests are going to be for this, I kind of knew. I kind of had the feeling that this was going to be a whole thing that was probably going to take a long time. And like I said, I'm just ready to get to the end of this game and see how it comes to a close. So I will save Echoes of the Fallen for another time, as well as Rising Tides. Next time we will come in and we will finish the story quest. I'll probably try, I know I keep saying this, but I will try to go and knock out these chronoliths in between this and the next recording session. And I'm going to try to see if I can finish all of them before I take on the final story quests here. And then once we're done with that, Rebirth awakens. So I will definitely be looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. But if you enjoyed these videos, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out and lets me know that you guys are enjoying this series. As well as leave a comment down below if you have anything you'd like to say. Maybe just say hi. Maybe tell me that I'm terrible at the game. It's fine. Whatever you have to say, I will do my best to respond as quick as I can. Also, check out the channel. We have a lot of reviews on there, as well as another Let's Play series. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Peace out.